Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We bring to you today the news, 4 segments, all good and great to know.
As the days go by, more people in the city of London fall ill as another plague hits London. Hello, this is your daily plague reporter, Rio, and by far this is one of the worst ones we have ever seen. People who could still talk describe the pain as unbearable. One woman who is bedridden for 2 children, ages 10 and 11, said some nights the pain was so bad it was impossible to sleep. They stayed up till the sun rose. Some citizens who have yet to catch the sickness have reported to see people fling themselves out their windows and fall to their deaths on the streets of London. Doctors have yet to say if sick people are killing themselves is caused by something like a parasite from the sickness getting to their brains is the reason for doing such a thing. Dr. Granberg, who has been working to make medicine and figure out how to get it out of the city, says patients he is working with are in terrible condition. They all had fevers, fast beating hearts, breathless, dehydrated, and could barely stand on their legs while stumbling. Many would lose their ability to speak after a while, and then they would sadly pass away from a heart attack. Terrible way to go, honestly. As of today, almost 3,000 people have died, more to come. To keep your family and friends safe, healthy, and alive, the Guardian News, that has been working with doctors to get an info out, says to take your home for any rats or rodents or any kind of fleas. They are the main two carrying the sickness. If you ever see any, leave all your things at home and get out immediately to a friend or family member's home. Leaving all you have behind is sad, but staying safe is more important. Guardian News also says moving out to the countryside and out of heavy flea and rat infested cities will make sure you stay safe. Just make sure your clothes are clean of any fleas. Well, our plague session of the news is over. We'll be back with more information at the moment we get some. Rio out.
Hello, this is Leviticus Cornwall III reporting from you live from Stratford upon Avon. Today we're bringing you the latest updates on another Irish uprising. Our viewers who like to know about current news, especially what is going on with the Irish colonies, will not want to miss this report. Have you ever wondered what would happen if Ireland led a rebellion again? Well, wonder no more. I'm here to give you all the amazing details. According to the House of Britannica, someone in the Irish colonies has planned yet another uprising. Will they succeed? None will know until it all goes down, as many times as they tried to get it in the past. And many as they have failed, the Irish seem to never give up as they're starting an uprising again. According to my colleague, History in 5 of the Irish, leader Hugh O'Neill has had enough with the English and is starting to rebel. It seems to make England very vulnerable, as England is currently at war with Spain, and has been for a while, due to the two countries trading blows at one another until one of them drops. But no one had for a while, so they decided to go ahead and declare war. Hugh O'Neill, the person who started the uprising, is part of the most powerful clan located in the Irish colony, head of the clan for that matter. But England is definitely a force to be reckoned with. According to the same colleague, History in 5 Spanish brother, at one point in time, Spain actually supported Ireland during the Second Desmond Rebellion, as religious and naval tensions between Spain and England rise. Ireland has been brewing something up. The main clans of Ireland, Tyrone, head being Hugh O'Neill, and Tyrconnell, head being Hugh O'Donnell. What will happen to Irish and English forces? Stay tuned to find out.
Greetings, this is Poe Louse coming to you live from the streets of London. Today I'll be delivering to you the most recent news and updates on the new poor laws being put into place at the moment. A lot of things are happening right now when it comes to the protection of poor people, so this broadcast will be especially useful to all of our lower class viewers out there. What do these poor laws have to do with me, you may ask? Stay tuned as I explain everything you need to know using information gathered by team members such as BBC, Briticana, and Workhouses. Some of you watching may know that there are multiple laws in place right now, called poor laws, but you might not know what exact laws are in effect right now, in which case I will give a brief summary. First, we have the 1563 Act, which promotes the harsh treatment of poor people who show no sign of changing their ways. It promotes harsh treatment by allowing able-bodied beggars to be punished by whips, and in some extreme cases can even be burned alive or imprisoned. The next two laws are going to be Act 1572 and Act 1576. Act 1572 was introduced as a national poor law tax. What that means is all citizens are called upon to support the needy, and you would be punished if you refused to. In Act 1576, it says each town needs to provide work for unemployed. Next is Act 1597. This act stated that an official would be appointed for each parish specifically to watch after the needs of the poor. Now, being educated on these kinds of laws is useful because if your boss ever does something that seems to break one of these laws, you can stand up for yourself and report him. This is Poe Louse signing out.
Hello, common folk of England. I'm your reporter, Blake Smith. A new play is arriving in theaters this week, brought to you by the ever-famous playwright William Shakespeare. This work of his goes under the name Romeo and Juliet. It has already been played multiple times in theaters over the past week, and according to IB Times, reviews have been mostly positive. But what makes it so good? I'll pass it over to our reviewer now for a more in-depth review.
I'm your reviewer Merchant here to give you a review on the new play Romeo and Juliet. I think the play was great. The characters were very down to earth and there was plenty of humor sprinkled throughout. The play does a good job reflecting the poem it was based on. If you didn't know, according to SparkNotes, the play was based on an old poem and it does it fairly well. There are several unexpected moments throughout the play that should keep you entertained. While according to ThoughtCo, attending a theater performance is already an entertaining experience. And the surprising and unexpected nature of this play will keep you invested in the story. While you are told how the play ends right at the beginning, it only makes you more interested and curious. And to Shakespeare's credit, every time you seem to forget about the ending you've been told about, the story reminds you of it in the most unexpected ways. All these things make this an amazing play to see that I definitely think should be worth watching.
So we had quite a bit of interesting news this week. We learned about the plague going through London, the war between Spain and Ireland, the poor laws enacted in England, and finally we learned about the release of the new play Romeo and Juliet. A very interesting week indeed. See you all next week for more news.